Hello children, welcome to today's online class of Sri Gokulam Guruvayur. Children, in our last class I have introduced the concept delegation. Today let us know what are the elements of delegation. Here in the words of Lewis Allen, let us see what is delegation. Delegation is the entrustment of responsibility and authority to another and the creation of accountability for performance. So delegation, actually we are entrusting some duties or responsibility to the another person. So when we are giving him authority and responsibility, he is a person who is accountable for the performance of the task which is given to him by his superior. So that is what delegation is actually meant in the words of Lewis Allen. Here are the three elements of delegation. These are the very important thing when you study the topic delegation. Three elements of delegations are authority, responsibility, and accountability. Children, when management, or we can say when a manager gives some power is authority. When he gives the authority to his employee, automatically he is giving the responsibility of that work also to the employee. Now here the employee is accountable to the work given by the management to him. So authority and responsibility, along with that accountability will also be there. So these are the three elements of delegation. Now let us see what is authority, which is one of the element of delegation. Here authority refers to the right of an individual to command his subordinate and to take action within the scope of his position. So here the manager, he is giving his authority to his subordinate, and the subordinate, after getting that authority, he can take decision or take action which is within the scope of his position. So right to command or right to give or make a decision is what authority is. So here the manager, he is delegating his power to his subordinate, so that the subordinate to whom the work has been delegated, he have enough authority to regulate the employees which is coming under him. Authority also refers to the right to take decision. So not only the right to command, but right to take decision is also there under the word or term authority. So authority refers to the right to take decision inherent in the managerial position to tell people what to do and accept them to do it. So here the delegated word for that, the subordinate is expecting people to get the work done from the subordinate. Authority arises from the established scalar chain which links with the various job position and levels of management. You are familiar with this term, scalar chain, that is the flow or that chain through which the communication take place. So that is very formal in nature, and in an organization, that through that scalar chain only the information passes to the different job position as well as to the different levels of management. So authority arises when there is a scalar chain in an organization, and the same way in the formal organization, authority originates by the virtue of individual's position. So in an organization, a person a person's position, according to the person's individual's position also, there is an originate of it is from where authority originates, and the extent of authority is highest at the top management level, and it gets decreases or get reduced as you step down from the corporate ladder. That is, as you move down the levels of management, the authority get decrease. Thus we can say that authority flows from top to bottom. It is most in highest position, the authority is highest in the top management, and as you go in the bottom level it gets reduced. So that is, the superior have authority over the subordinate. If you notice this picture, you can see that this is a boss, this is a manager, and this is an employee. Here the manager, he is telling that I have the authority. Manager is having the authority, and he is asking his subordinate, the boss is asking his manager, Jim, you are responsible. So he is transferring his, though he is having authority, and he is transferring his that work's responsibility is transferred to manager's head. So manager is ready to take the accountability, but the problem is he don't have the authority. He had to pretend that in front of his employee that he has the authority. So here the problem with the manager is he has no authority, but he is taking accountability for the work. In such situation, what happens is the employee do not know who is this, but the manager is asking him to do this. So you can see this picture. Do this is the command given by the manager. He is asking the employees to trust him. What is the employees respond to this? Why should I stop what I am doing and do what you are telling me? You are not my boss. So employees confused, or employees does not know that the work which he have to do is, now the manager is responsible for the work which he is doing, because he didn't get the authority. So this is a message, some information you are getting from this. So let us come to the next point. Authority relationship helps to maintain order in the organization by giving the manager the right to exact obedience and give direction to the workforce under him. So here the manager is getting the right to exact obedience and give direction to the subordinates who are coming under him. Authority determines the superior subordinate relationship. So whenever there is superior subordinate relationship, there comes authority, wherein the superior communicates his decision to the subordinate. So superior, he communicates the decision made by the management to the subordinate, and accept that subordinate should execute the decision as per the guideline of the superior. Next point is, authority is restricted by laws and rules and regulation of the organization. So authority, from where does, how does we come to know that management have, manager have this much authority? So that is decided by the organization. That is, how much is the scope, or how much is the right of the particular person who is handling particular position. So that is, there is laws and rules and regulations up to which the authority is restricted in an organization. So as we go higher up in the management hierarchy, the scope of authority increases. So as you go upper, that is the top management, there you can see the authority is in its extreme high position. Now let us see what is responsibility, which is the second element of delegation. Responsibility refers to the obligation of the subordinate to properly perform the assigned duty. So, whatever the work have been assigned by the top manager, that work have to be completed. So, responsibility means what? Obligation of the subordinate to properly perform the duty. There are two concepts which you have to remember in this responsibility. That is, responsibility arises whenever there is superior and subordinate relationship, because the subordinate is bound to perform the duty assigned to him by the superior. Here the subordinate is bound, responsible to perform the duty which is given to him by the superior. And the next thing which you have to remember is responsibility flows upward. That is, a subordinate will always be responsible to his superior. So, subordinate have more responsibility than the superior. Thus, you can say that responsibility flows upward. Look at this picture. Authority flows downward. That is, top management have more authority, and as you go downward, it get reduced. So, authority flow is from top to bottom, but responsibility flow is from down to upward. So, authority flow downward and responsibility flows upward. Now, third element of delegation is accountability. What do you mean by accountability? It refers to answerability for the final outcome of the assigned task. So, the person who is in charge of that work is also getting answerability for the final outcome. Once authority has been delegated and responsibility is accepted, one cannot deny accountability. Accountability cannot be delegated. You have to remember that we can delegate our authority, and responsibility cannot fully be delegated, but accountability cannot be delegated. And flow upward. Like responsibility flow is upward, the same way accountability also flows upward. That is, subordinate will be accountable to the superior for the satisfactory performance of the work. So, subordinate will be accountable to the superior for the performance of the work. So, here you can say that authority means the power given to a person to act and make decision within his boundary. Responsibility means carrying out the specific delegated task, and accountability means being liable for the action and decision. So, here you are the person who gets the work, he is actually liable to perform that work. Here is the difference between a comparison between the three of this. First one is meaning. Authority means what? Right to command. Responsibility means what? Obligation to perform the assigned task. And accountability means what? Answerability for outcome of the assigned task. Whatever task have been assigned to you, you are answerable for the final result produced by that task. Origin. How this authority have originated? It have originated from the formal position. You know about the scalar chain, isn't it? From that formal position, this authority have been arisen. And responsibility, when a person gets the authority, automatically he will get the responsibility also. So, when responsibility arises from the delegated authority. And how does an accountability arises? It arises when you get the responsibility. So, it all is interconnected. Then flow. Flow downward from superior to subordinate. Flows upward from subordinate to superior. This also flows upward from subordinate to superior. Delegation. I have already told you that authority can be delegated. That is, power can be passed on to the next person. Responsibility cannot be entirely delegated. So, power can be passed on, but responsibility cannot be passed on completely. And what about accountability? cannot be delegated at all. Okay, so these things have to be remembered. Children, now it is time to conclude today's session. Today's class we have discussed the elements of delegation. We saw that there are three essential elements of delegation. They are authority, responsibility, and accountability. We also saw some of the important features related to all these three elements. We compared the three of these elements of delegation on some basis. Now it is your turn. You have to read the textbook covering these points, underline the main points related to this topic. Don't forget to attend the test paper. Read the question carefully before you write the answer. Children, in our next class we will discuss more about delegation and importance of delegation. So till then, goodbye. Take care.